Oh, we here. I hope we here. You feel me? I hope we here. I hope we are here. I hope we are here. Damn. Warner Brothers is taking the L. That recession is really coming. But anyway, let's get into a few things. Let's get into a couple of things. Let's make sure that we here. Alright, we here. Alright, we here. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. You know what I'm saying? Let's get it. Damn. You know what we gonna have to do? Let's get it. Oh, man. We got a lot to get into today, y'all. But like I said, I'm going to try to keep it real brief. I'm going to try to keep everything real brief. I'm going to try to keep everything real, humble and all that. My most... Voting is important. I think it's more important than... In my most humblest opinion, I'm going to really try to keep everything grounded and level-headed and all that. Make sure to like the video. And let's get into it. This is the Most Wise FBA. We are here. Sound check 1 2 1 2. Level headed and all that. Alright, so that's a sound check. Hold on. Fair use. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, exhibit portions of copyrighted materials, videotapes, video, blah, 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 blah. Infringement upon copyright is called fair use. This infringement of copyright is called fair use and allowed for purposes of criticism, news, reporting, teaching, and parody. So with that being said, let's begin. Oh, yeah. Let's begin, y'all. Let's begin. Let's go.
I think some of the criticism of the Jewish faith in the community, for sure. Some points made in there that were unfortunate.
Kyrie, are you surprised that you did hurt people?
Surprised that I did hurt people?
Are you surprised that reaction and some of the things that you did hurt people?
Yeah, I think I can ask a better question. It's just, where were you when I was a kid, figuring out that 300 million of my ancestors are buried in America? Where were you guys asking those same questions when I was a kid learning about the traumatic events of my familial history and what I'm proud to come from and why I'm proud to stand here and why when I repeat myself that I'm not going to stand down, it has nothing to do with dismissing any other race or group of people. I'm just proud of my heritage and what we've been through. And the fact that this has pinned me against the Jewish community. And I'm here answering questions of whether or not I'm sorry or not on something I didn't create. And it was something I shared. And I'm telling everybody I'm taking responsibility. Then that's where I sit. So, these same questions that you guys ask, me dealing with it as being a melanated, pigmented person all around the world and dealing with racial biases against my skin color, demeaning me because of my religious beliefs, and I'm still sitting in the seat standing. So I take my full responsibility. Again, I'll repeat it, for posting something on my Instagram or Twitter that may have had some unfortunate falsehoods in it. But I also am a human being that's 30 years old, and I've been growing up in a country that's told me that I wasn't worth anything, and I came from a slave class, and I come from a people that are meant to be treated the way we get treated every day. So I'm not here to compare anyone's atrocities or tragic events that their families have dealt with generations of time. I'm just here to continue to expose things that our world continues to put in darkness. I'm a light. I'm a beacon of light. That's what I'm here to do. You guys ask me questions about basketball, I give you my expert opinion. You guys ask me about other things, I give you my opinion, and it's met with whatever you believe the perception or the deception is. You guys investigate my life every day, and you justify it by serving your own purpose, which I honor. I would like the same respect in return, figuring out just like anyone else. So please keep that same energy when we're talking about anti-other things, because just because I post a documentary doesn't mean I'm anti-Semitic, and doesn't mean that I'm automatically standing with everyone that is believing in that. So it's unfortunate timing that we're in, but I'm glad that I can stand on the truth, because I'm not afraid of these mics, these cameras. I used to be, looking everyone in the eye and telling them the truth, and I'm proud of who I am. Any label that you put on me, I'm able to dismiss because I studied. I know the Oxford Dictionary, you look it up, right? Just one of the biggest mistakes I had in being a kid was not knowing European or Western language until I started looking it up and understanding the definitions and why they say, if you want to trick a black person, put it in the book. I was wondering my whole life why they said that. Now I'm 30 years old and I know reading is a superpower because it helps me understand.
Reading is a superpower.
Like a tree with roots.
Reading is a superpower, y'all. Is it time? Is it time? Is it time to boycott the NBA? You know, recently you got King Coon, Charles Barkley, who came out, and he basically called out the Jewish Commissioner Adam Silver, saying, oh, hold on, I'm sorry, y'all, I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all waiting for this? Y'all waiting for this? Oh yeah, I'm sorry, y'all. Yeah, I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all waiting for that? Yeah. So glad we putting out that media to yeah, man. Listen, it might be time to boycott the NBA, my guy. It might, listen, I listen, man, y'all spoke, y'all said, yo, listen, yo, Flea, you gotta do a video, you gotta speak on this. And that's like I tell y'all, man, y'all tell me what to do, man. I work for y'all. You know, the media is basically a organized front for the people, right? So I'm on the streets and I hear what the people say, and I come and I bring what the people say to the internet so that we can have one organized voice and project that to the quote unquote dominant society, as Tariq Nasheed likes to say. We're also going to get into the rabbi Erez Sherman, who responded. I'm going to do a live reaction to that. You know, I just wanted to speak on shit. I love Kyrie too. I actually got introduced to Kyrie. Matter of fact, let me throw this up on the joint. I actually got introduced to Kyrie and all that from my ex-girlfriend's son. So he was a big Kyrie Irving fan and all that. You feel me? And what he would do, you know, he would always choose Kyrie Irving in NBA 2K. But I don't want to digress and all that, because I want to keep y'all here longer than like 30-40 minutes, because a lot of people say, yo, Dave, you don't get to the point and stuff like that. So that being said, boom. So Charles Barkley, I'm gonna get back to the comments on in a second. Charles Barkley calls out the NBA Jewish Commissioner and stuff like that, Adam Silver, for not disciplining Kyrie Irving. This was yesterday, November 2nd, right? So then today, Adam Silver comes out, right? He comes out, and Adam Silver says Kyrie Irving made a reckless decision to post a link of a film containing deeply offensive anti-Semitic material. While we appreciate the fact that he agreed to work with the Brooklyn Nets and the Anti-Defamation League to combat other forms of discrimination, but basically, you know, Adam Silver said he's gonna have a meeting with Kyrie Irving and stuff like that. And you know, before I get into this right here, this this rabbi speaking on the situation, I wanna make a little assertion. Yeah, you see, when Kyrie threw the money, he threw 500,000 at him, right? He gave him 500,000 or whatever the case may be. And the funny thing is, you got this other dude, I forgot, Kendrick Perkins. He like, oh, that's no money to them. That ain't no money. You know what I'm saying? He was on ESPN talking about, yo, that ain't no money or whatever the case may be. We don't care how much money you throw at them. Everybody don't need money or X, Y, Z in the third. And it's like, yo, dude, like that's him trying to say sorry. You get him trying to say like, so what? You know, and now I see why Kanye was like, oh, you want us to, when he was speaking to Lex Friedman, he said, what, you want us to get on our knees and kiss Howard Stern's dick? You know, and that's damn near like what these guys want black people to do when it comes to something anti-Semitic. But now when it comes to anti-blackness, right, when you
this is not the answer.
Yo.
So now all of a sudden, here it is again. Just when we thought we were taking a step forward and probably getting past this, now all of a sudden, no. We got to take another stance. We got to be more aggressive. And now it's on Adam Silver. And we all know and we trust Adam Silver to act accordingly.
Look, I'm just going to say this, and I have been on this show multiple times with Stephen A. Smith and Perk. You and I have talked about a lot. I've defended Kyrie in a lot of situations. I defended him during the pandemic, and he's right.
Like Kyrie Irving.
Alright, so there we go. Sorry about that. Jesus Christ, man. Yeah, I'm telling y'all, yo, when it let me put this up. Let me put the stream chat up. Yo, oh my God. Yo.
Walk into that room. So I think that the Brooklyn Nets once again dropped the ball from a
Okay, sorry about that, guys. It started buffering and streaming. Oh my gosh. This is why sometimes I try not to speak on this specific topic right here, because we all know that these people have so much power and control, and they control the algorithm. They'll hack your drain out, they'll hack you out, they'll kick you out. Some problem I had never seen happen before just happened to me. You could check any of my streams, that has never happened to me. It said buffering. Luckily I had some people in the chat. I checked over on my monitor and seen that, you know, some things had happened. Luckily I fixed it. The stream should be back up and running. I'm pretty sure, you know, maybe the people that was here have probably exited and stuff like that, but it is what it is. On my monitor, and seeing that, you know, some things had happened. The stream should be back up. We're gonna try to keep it running strong. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? We don't let this shit get us down. So anyway, we were speaking about the 500,000. So this is Kendrick Perkins responding, saying that 500,000 is basically no money.
It's come to light now, and so now all of a sudden, guess what? Adam Silver received probably more phone calls this morning or late last night, and now all of a sudden now he has to take matters into his own hand. And I guarantee you, Jay, that meeting between him and Kyrie Irving is not going to go like Kyrie Irving expected to go. I don't think Adam Silver, the great guy that we know him to be, individual, always with a smile on his face, great guy to be around, that's not going to be the Adam Silver you see when that Kyrie is going to see when he walk into that room. So I think that the Brooklyn Nets once again dropped the ball from a culture standpoint and not suspended Kyrie Irving, then tried to cover it up with the $500,000 donation from Kyrie Irving, along with the $500,000 donation from Josiah, to equal to go to the foundation. So now all of a sudden, Adam Silver saying, no,
this mush mouth ass nigga.
So now all of a sudden, just when we thought we were taking a step forward and probably getting past this, now all of a sudden, no, we got to take another stance. We got to be more aggressive. And now
we got to take another stand. We got to take a stand against the NBA. That's what we got to take a stand against. That's what we got to take a stand against. We got to take a stand against the NBA. It's time for us to let our voices be heard. You feel me? It's time for us to let these niggas know, like, listen, listen, we not going for this, man. We not going for this. Like, we not going for this. We not going for this right here. But let's see what the rabbi had to say about the situation, because you know I truly feel like these people are just trying to bully us. These people are, you know. Okay, let me say this in a nice way, and I kind of want to write it down a little bit. You know, these people started with feminism, now anti-Semitism, homophobia. 3 things that's pinned on the black community. These are like, let's not forget reverse racism, right? They tried to get that one off until we debunked that. We debunked that because black people cannot be racist. We don't have the power to be racist. But this is all the things that they're trying to throw on us, right? These are all the things that they want us to more or less be scared of. These are the things that they feel as if like they can just they can just control us, control our words, control the things that we say, control the things that we do by levying these different intellectual attacks upon us. Feminism, which abused and dismantled affirmative action. Homophobia, in which black men are not homophobic. That is a very derogatory stereotype that has been placed on black men when we are the most accepting of the LGBT community, regardless of the fact that we are the only group of males, the only group of males that are chastised, right? We're the only group of males that's chastised by females, who's chastised by females who basically get to label us as quote unquote gay men if we just are uninterested in those females. You know, we're the only group of males that get labeled as gay men just for being men, right? For having friends, for having commodity amongst peers or whatever the case may be. If we show any type of admiration for another black male in a higher position, black females in particular like to say you're quote unquote sucking dick, right? Like these are the words that's used. So, and then we'll have the dominant, right, the liberal media turn around and still call us homophobic or whatever the case may be. Like me personally, I've done videos covering Andrew Wiggins, right, him and Jason Lee's situation. I've been, you know, in his live chat or whatever the case may be. FBA is promoting Marcel Dixon. We have absolutely nothing against the LGBT. But these are all of the smoke screens that they try to create every time we say we want something. And now I believe that since the reparations conversation is becoming elevated, and I feel like as if maybe the people who will be most affected by reparations would be Judaic people, right? Because a lot of slavery, a lot of that money, a lot of that can be traced back to Hasidic Judaic wealth, right? So this is almost like anti-Blackism. The media refuses to address anti-Blackness. The media refuses to address anti-blackness. The media refuses to address anti-blackness. I have seen the liberal media write anti-white before they would publish anti-black. You see, this will be a very, very, very long fight, and I want us to be very prepared. Spiritually, mentally, physically. Like even me, right? You know, I mean, I'm smoking right now, but I have been cutting down on smoking, right? I've been trying to adjust my diet. I've been trying to, you know, take more walks and things of that nature and learn Web 3.0, right? Because I understand that, and also as far as like buying cameras and understanding lighting and other stuff like that, because I understand that I have to have my feet firmly planted in this revolution. I have to have my feet firmly planted in this revolution. This is not going to be 1 day, 1 month, or 1 year. This will take place over the next, at minimum, 2 to 3 years. I think maybe about 7 years, but at minimum 2 to 3 years. At minimum. And this conversation that's being started right now, maybe it should have been started, but let's get into what the rabbi got to say.
Before Irving spoke today, NBA Commissioner Adam Silver issued a statement saying Irving made a, quote, reckless decision to post a link to a film containing deeply offensive anti-Semitic material. He added he is, quote, disappointed that he has not offered an unqualified apology and will be meeting with Irving in the next week. This is the first time that any statement from the team, from the league, or the PA has specifically addressed Irving. Here now with Chene Agumake, Richard Jefferson, Vince Carter, and our guest, Rabbi Erez Sherman from Sinai Temple here in Los Angeles. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Sinai Temple in Los Angeles. That in itself, got to take with a grain of salt. But as our good brother said, Kyrie clarified his position, gave them money. Now these blah 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 are just disgusting. Get a bike. Shit. R.I.P. to the to the money, but a dude in Brooklyn just passed away on a bike. Nigga just got shot in the head on a bike. I mean, I be driving and stuff like that, you know, be driving, taking the bus, you know, I do whatever. But to get to your to your comment about, you know, our men need to, I mean, we going to support, and there's more of us than them, or whatever the case may be. You're 100% right. There is technically in America more of us than them. There might be more of them than us, like around the world. When you're speaking specifically to Black Americans, right? Because Black Americans, we don't have help from outside sources, and we need to be very cognizant of that. But we don't have the power and the leverage that that these businessmen have, right? A lot of Anglo-Saxon people make their self a minority by becoming, by taking on the Judaic faith. A lot of Anglo-Saxons make themselves a minority by becoming LGBT. A lot of Anglo-Saxon women try to fake this Black plight, right? Fake these struggles by becoming a feminist. These are all organizations and associations that you could make to make yourself a minority if you're an Anglo-Saxon and you don't feel the need to be a white supremacist, but you want to be a more passive aggressive supremacist, right? You want to be a passive aggressive supremacist, right? And right now I believe that Judaic people are being passive aggressive supremacists. You know, they're being very very liberal in their approach. you know, no pun intended. But we are garnering support. I spoke with my dad yesterday, and I was surprised that my dad was really like on my side and on Kanye's side and on Kyrie's side and stuff like that. A lot of the black community is starting to get awoke to this situation, and that's why I think that this situation is going to backfire on Judaic people. But I just think it's going to take a little bit of time because, you know, unfortunately, black people, we a little slow, man. We a little slow, respectfully.
Rabbi, I want to start with you here. What is your reaction to all that we just heard from Kyrie Irving?
The reaction was that when I was a child, I met people that were different than me on a basketball court. Not necessarily in my synagogue or even in my Jewish school, but on a basketball court. And so the fact that this ball is tearing people apart right now, it not only makes me mad, but it makes me scared. And not scared for myself, but actually scared for my own children, the kids in my own community and the kids around the world that...
Oh, I'm scared of the big black nigga. Oh, I'm scared of the big black nigga. Oh, I am so scared of the big black nigga. You know, you have to really, really, really watch these dog whistles. You have to really watch how these people anchor their statements. You're scared for your kids. Well, guess what? We're scared for our kids as well. We are scared for our black kids because our black kids are being shot down with little to no sympathy or remorse. It's like no one gives a damn. No one gives a damn about the black babies. No one gives a damn about us. You know, why is that? Why is it when it comes to us? Why is it when it comes to us and our people and our stories and our plight, right? It almost goes unheard. It's like everyone's ears is closed. But as soon as another group is disparaged or feels disrespected, here comes not only every other racial group, but here comes even some of our own people. Like we just watched Andrew the Kendrick Perkins dude say all that freaking nasty nonsense about the money ain't enough and this, that, and the third. Like how dare you say such a thing? You know? But when you're being paid by, you know, by white paymasters, that's just what it is, right? You know, racism and capitalism goes hand in hand. And once you understand that aspect, you will understand where the foundation of people like Steven Jackson, people like Kendrick Perkins, you will understand the foundation of their statements. Capitalism and racism goes hand in hand. You need racism for capitalism to work. And as far as like the bike statements and stuff like that, this is it right here. Man killed while riding bike in Brooklyn. No. R.I.P. Melly G's. Not to be confused with Matty G's, the white kid that overdosed or whatever, that was dissing all the drill rappers. I'll speak about that later on. Drip and Drill. Everybody go sign up. Go subscribe. I believe Drip and Drill is somewhere in the comments. I mean, he should be in here somewhere. But let's see. We already have started the social conversation to call them out. That this ain't passive. I would probably say a little otherwise, but let's see. Boom. We already saw this ain't passive. Small having a fair response. They trying to make us the face of it because we rule our culture. True indeed. The real fear is don't, yeah. They real fear. But yeah. But to be honest with you, and to be 100% honest, if you study Germany in the 1930s, Judaic people are making the same exact mistake that they made even back then. You know, it's not so much that everyone was blind to the fact of what Adolf Hitler was trying to do. The responses at the time wasn't so much outrage, but at the same notion, it was like this similar type of pushback, like, you know, like, what do you mean it's all of us? Like, how could you blame this small minority for a majority of the problems, you know? And it connects back to the Great Depression and things of that nature. But in this situation, especially when you're speaking to black people, won't we get pushed in the one thing about black people, and I'm just gonna say it straightforward, like, you know what I'm saying, black people may be a little soft in how we approach things or whatever, you know, we may tap dance sometimes or whatever the case may be, but black people not pussy. And once black people understand that this is like the real problem, and now the average black person understands, like, okay, these Jewish people do have so much control over what's going on. They're trying to shut down Kyrie. They're trying to shut down Kanye. Like, all of our great, almost like black entertainer activists, they're trying to like shut them out. This is the same situation that happened with Dave Chappelle. The only difference with Dave Chappelle is, if you recall, remember Dave Chappelle spoke about Comedy Central. When Dave Chappelle spoke about Comedy Central, the only difference that he just did not name the religious group of the businessmen that he was fucked by. And I understand why Lex Friedman told that to Kanye as well. That's why I said I love that conversation, because Lex Friedman gave Kanye real answers. A lot of times when you're speaking to white people, they lie to you in a passive aggressive way. They confuse you. They send you left when they know you should be going right. They send you right when they know you should be going left. That's how white people confuse black people. That's the greatest tool that they use to manipulate our people, was confusion. Anyone who confuses you is not your friend. They are the devil. These white people have basically, you know, confused our people, and them condemning Kanye and Kyrie in such a harsh manner shows our people that this is not just a conspiracy theory. This is reality. And now that everyone in the black community is having this conversation, expect more and more black people to push back. But let's get back into this conversation, and let's see.
Take a tweet.
What he said, he's scared for his kids and stuff like that.
And so the fact that this ball is tearing people apart right now, it not only makes me mad, but it makes me scared. And not scared for myself, but actually scared for my own children, the kids in my own community and the kids around the world that take a tweet up there in the Twitterverse and the Instagram and the social media.
North Korea is sending out bombs right now. North Korea is sending missiles. There's a migrant crisis going on over there in Europe. Iran is protesting. But this one tweet makes him scared for his children.
And take it as truth, and then take that sometimes to action.
And some people might see this, as you mentioned, as just a social media post, but I always pride myself on educate myself so that I can educate others. Mm-hmm. Can you educate us as to the real life consequences of a post?
And that is a fact. Ye did show us that pointing out any truth about this minority group is anti-Semitic. Any truth. And it's insane. It's insane. But another problem is, back in the days when they was doing the Safari Con, our black people did not say anything. In the 80s and 90s, when they ran the same trick on Farrakhan, our people did not say anything. So these white people got comfortable in running that same trick and running that same narrative. This is why it's so important that we stay on their ass.
It's like this.
Absolutely. The real life consequences start in a tweet.
And NBA, do not think that we will not boycott your ass. Oh yeah. Season ain't that popping.
End up in my driveway here in Los Angeles when I get a baggie saying the Jews are responsible for COVID, the Jews are responsible for XYZ.
Now the Jews are responsible for COVID? Wasn't that just the Asian hate thing? What's going on here? I have never heard that statement that the Jews are responsible for COVID. I've never heard that statement in my life. See, but this is what people do. This is what people do. They conflate, they take things and they mix it around and they make a little hate stew for black people to demonize us. I was reading an article earlier today about Pete Davidson's meltdown. He's not acting no more. He's throwing candles in his trailer. He's breaking TVs. And they said a understandable Pete Davidson because he's had problems with a problematic Kanye. Understandable Pete Davidson, right? Problematic Kanye. They called Pete Davidson's thing a meltdown. They call Kanye West some freaking. We know when Kanye has any little whatever, you know. They demonize him in the worst way. Oh, he needs to be hospitalized. He needs a conservatorship. Even you got people like Charlemagne the God who's even wishes death upon Kanye at times. God forbid. So we have to understand how they write things, how they say things, and this is why when I opened up this live stream with this Kyrie Irving statement, and he says, if you want to hide something, hide it from black people by putting it in a book, because he had to open up the Oxford Dictionary and see that these words used in Western society had so much weight and depth to them when you look into the definitions. And this is why journalism is so very important. Black media is so very important. And even YouTube's position in black media and Google's position in black media is so very important. That's why Alphabet is the only stock that I have invested in. Let's go.
The real life consequences.
And I'm gonna get to the comments in a few.
Are when last week in my own Jewish school, of middle school students on their way to a flag football game, their coach, who was not Jewish, they're having an argument or a discussion about Kanye and Adidas, and the coach is, yes, I believe with Kanye. That was the only adult on the bus. And those kids were scared out of their mind, but they were educated and they were able to defend themselves. And the last consequence was from an
So because the coach agreed with Kanye, like what? What the fuck is on? Like what the fuck be going on here? What is this nigga talking about?
Their coach, who was not Jewish, they're having an argument or a discussion about Kanye and Adidas, and the coach is, yes, I believe with Kanye. That was the only adult on the bus. And those kids were scared out of their mind.
First of all, if that's a Jewish school, those kids will go to a yeshiva at the age of 18, 19, 20, where they will learn how to debate against one another. So even if the coach said Kanye's remarks, even about these tweets or whatever the case may be, when Judaic people hit the age of 18, 19, 20, 21 years old, they go to a school where two people with two different point of views are sat at a table each day to debate with one another about the Torah. Why? Because they're taught how to prepare to for lack of better terms, defend themselves in any position, to use their words in such powerful ways. This is why Judaic people make for the best attorneys, even though my attorney's black. Shout out to Patrick Watts, 1630 Melrose. If you're in the Bronx, that guy, get off all, you know what I'm saying? Get you off all the gun cases and all that. Tap in with my guy. That is the best lawyer in the Bronx, Patrick Watts. Tap in. Real shit. And he gave my Message to the Black Man book. I appreciate him for that. So yeah, this is why Judaic people are make for the best lawyers, because they go to the yeshiva. So how could a tweet impact these people when at the end of the day, Judaic people are taught to research everything that's told to them, even their own Torah, to debate and to pick apart everything that's told to them. So this is like, this almost feels like a lie being told to Goyim. You understand? Or Gentiles. You understand?
Saying the Jews are responsible for COVID, the Jews are responsible for XYZ. The real life consequences are when last week in my own Jewish school of middle school students on their way to a flag football game.
In a Jewish school. In a Jewish school. Let's see what a yeshiva is. Let's see what a yeshiva is. Do they have, is yeshiva legit? What religion? Let's see some. Let's see if I could just put what is a yeshiva. So yeah, I could just get like understanding of what it is. What is a yeshiva university? Here we go. Okay. Let's see. What is medicine, law. God damn it. What is a yeshiva? Let's put it like that. Let's just see if we could do it like that. Let's see. Let's see if it have it. Yeshiva, traditionally Jewish educational, focus on the study of rabbinic literature, primarily Talmud, are studied in parallel. The study is usually done through a daily shirim, lecture or classes in which our study peers are in for friendship, companionship, learning style for unique. All right, so now this right here. The studying is usually done for daily shirim or whatever, lectures or classes, as well as study peers called shavras. I don't even know how to pronounce that. Shavrasaz. Let me see something. How do you pronounce that? Right? It's a traditional rabbinic approach to study in which small groups of students analyze, discuss, and debate a shared text. Y'all see what I'm talking about? Let me take this off the screen real quick. Take this off the screen, right? And let me kind of minimize this a little bit so y'all can know exactly what I mean when I'm saying these things. Because we have to understand the beast that we're dealing with. Sharuta, Haruta, fellowship, group, fellows, or whatever. It's a traditional rabbinic approach to Talmudic study in which a small group of students, usually 2 to 5, analyze, discuss, and debate a shared text. It is primary learning method of yeshivas and colleges where students often engage regular study partners of similar knowledge and ability, and is also practiced by those outside of yeshiva setting in home, works, vacation settings. The traditional phrase is to learn Bakavisa in partnership. The word has come from a metonymy of to refer to a study partner as an individual, though it would be more logically described a peer. Unlike the teacher-student relationship in which the student memorizes and repeats the material back in text, Sharusa-style learning puts each student in a position of analyzing the text, organizing their thoughts into logical arguments, explaining their reasoning for their partner, hearing out that their partner's reasoning and questioning and sharpening others' ideas, often arriving at entirely new insights into the meaning of the text. So do y'all understand what we dealing with here? So now when this rabbi says that in his Jewish school, this one tweet is what it is being very deceptive to Goyim and Gentiles.
The Jews are responsible for XYZ. The real life consequences are when last week in my own Jewish school of middle school students on their way to a flag football game, their coach who was not Jewish, they're having an argument or a discussion about Kanye and Adidas.
We are very powerful.
I believe with Kanye. That was the
but
only
we need more
on the
power.
bus. And those kids were scared out of their mind, but they were educated and they were able to defend themselves. And the last consequence was from an email I got from a 4th grader yesterday. It says, I love wearing Kyrie shoes. And I am so sad in my heart that I put those shoes away. And so those are consequences.
Okay. I just gave away all my Gap hoodies, all my Gap clothes. 2 big bags of Gap items, all given away. All given away. All given away. Like, what does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? You know what I'm saying? This is what we got to be on right now. This is what we got to be on right now. Okay, he had to put his Kyrie sneakers to the side. Okay, that's fine. I put my Gap to the side. Now we probably will have to put the NBA to the side. You understand? This is just what it's going to have to be right now. We can't even get too close and accustomed with all these brands and people or whatever the case may be, because we just don't know where anyone stands anymore. We just do not know where anyone stands anymore. Period. So with me, I could give a rat's freaking ass who in the motherfuck you know, puts Kyrie sneakers to the side, because guess what? I'm putting things to the side as well. And if the NBA does not act right on this Kyrie Irving issue, you know what I'm saying? If a tweet gets you suspended, if a tweet gets you sat down with, if a tweet gets you all of these things, in which the man just simply promoted something, like this is the same thing that happened with Kanye. Y'all did not sue. This happened with three black American people. Kyrie Irving would be the third, and y'all not gonna be able to recall it first, even though I gave y'all freaking chances to figure it out. Kyrie Irving, right? He puts up a post about he just promotes a DVD called Hebrew to Negroes, in which we are the true Hebrews. That's a fact. And we are the true Egyptians. That's a fact. And we are the true Native Americans. That's a fact. You can both walk and chew gum at the same time, and you can also be displaced around the planet that has been here for 50,000 some odd years when you built the goddamn pyramids. You understand? Ain't nothing off motherfucking limitations when us as black men built the goddamn pyramids. Niggas still can't figure that out. Kanye West would be the second person who promoted The Greatest Lie Ever Told, the Daily Wire documentary about George Floyd that was executive produced by Candace Owens. Kanye West was sued for just talking about a documentary that he's seen. Why you did not sue the Daily Wire? Oh, because Ben Shapiro runs the Daily Wire. That is Judaic. See, we're gonna get to the meat and potatoes. Why Cornball Jackson ain't come and speak about the Daily Wire? Oh, he's talking reckless about Kanye, getting quotes wrong. Oh, you say stupid things, you get stupid prizes. No, you dumb fuck. If you play stupid games, you get stupid prizes. And if you say stupid shit, you become a stupid motherfucking nigga. Now, the third person that a lot of people don't really realize this happened to, that kind of said about all of these things, was Tasha K. Tasha K brought another female on her platform to say that Cardi B had, whatever, she had herpes, whatever the case may be, allegedly, which she does not, or whatever the case may be. Shout out to Cardi B. And Tasha K was sued instead of the female actually made the statement. So now it's like, this is America telling us, okay, this is the most severe form of thought policing, because you could literally watch something that's not truthful, and if you say a statement based on the content that you watch, you will be held liable. So now it's almost like, damn, if I don't watch something that's credible, if I don't watch something that's coming from the state or one of these big news corporations or something like that quote unquote is quote unquote credible, right? Then I could be held liable. If I don't get my news source from someone that's credible, I could be financially held liable. This is the message that America's sending right now. You understand? This is why I never condemn Tasha K. I never condemn Kanye. And I damn sure won't be condemning Kyrie. Because I know it starts with you and then it's me. Let's go.
Consequences, not about basketball and shoes, which, believe me, I watched you guys growing up. You were our role models. But we have to be better role models in terms of our hearts and our souls.
If we could back up for just one moment, I think we need to start this conversation.
Black men was their role models? Okay. All right, nigga. Okay, nigga. You're pandering a little bit too much.
Place of education and understanding. Why is the material in this book and film so deeply offensive? Absolutely.
So just here in Los Angeles, the Los Angeles City Council passed 2 days ago the definition of anti-Semitism according to the IHRA, which is the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance. And in that definition, it says that a perception of hatred to the Jewish community is the definition of anti-Semitism. Now, Charles Barkley asked me 2 days ago, have I read or seen that movie? And so when he asked, I looked it up and I started seeing what those anti-Semitic tropes were. Number one, there's untruths there. And when untruths are then seen as truths to the next person, that leads to very dangerous consequences.
Why is the material...
Did he just say that the definition of anti-Semitism was basically established 2 days ago? Are you fucking kidding me? So how could you even call someone anti-Semitic if y'all are just coming to like this definite term 2 days ago?
Material in this book and film so deeply offensive?
Absolutely. So just here in Los Angeles City Council passed 2 days ago the definition of anti-Semitism according to the IHRA, which is the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance. And in that definition, it says that a perception of hatred to the Jewish community is the definition of anti-Semitism. Now, Charles Barkley asked me 2 days ago, have I read or seen that movie? And so when he asked, I looked it up and I started seeing what those anti-Semitic tropes were. Number one, there's untruths there. And
Charles Barkley asked him. Charles Barkley. King Kuna, Charles Barkley. King Kuna, Charles Barkley. You see, this is why I have a problem with selfish black men. This is why I have a problem with selfish black men. Especially a problem with selfish black boys. Because usually it's selfish black boys who grow up to become raccoons. It's always those people who literally think only about themselves. We could watch in Charles Barkley playing demeanor and stuff like that, and just the generation in which he came up in, because that generation was very raccoony. Facts. He didn't even know what it was. The nigga ain't even know. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't even know, but they just go. They just go because they understand that if they did not put out the fire, or what they thought was putting out the fire early, that it would grow into something bigger. Now, usually they're able to put out the fire, but in this Kanye situation, the fire was a little bit too big. It wasn't a fire, it was a wave, it was water. It was a tidal wave.
Truths are then seen as truths to the next person. That leads to very dangerous consequences.
If you could speak to Kyrie, and I know we're on camera now, but in a personal education way, like, what would you say to him?
And here go the nigga trying to get him about the statement, because they knew that shit was dumb. They knew that shit was dumb as hell. That whole response was stupid.
Place of education and understanding. Why is the material in this book and film so deeply offensive?
Absolutely. So just here in Los Angeles City Council passed 2 days ago the definition of anti-Semitism according to the IHRA, which is the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance. And in that definition, it says that a perception of hatred to the Jewish community is the definition of anti-Semitism. Now, Charles Barkley asked me 2 days ago, have I read or seen that movie? And so when he asked, I looked it up and I started seeing what those anti-Semitic tropes were. Number one, there's untruths there. And when untruths are then...
You looked it up? You looked it up and seen what Pacific untruths is there? You see, this is the problem right here. What Pacific untruths was there? I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't get it. You have to be Pacific, man. We keep allowing these people just to say things, man. What truths was what half truths? What untruths was there? Let's be Pacific. Let's talk turkey. I don't know. I don't speak passive aggressive. These are passive aggressive supremacists, man.
Then seen as truths to the next person. that leads
i.e.
to
white
very dangerous
supremacists
consequences.
with white fragility.
If you could speak to Kyrie, and I know we're on camera now, but in a personal education way, like what would you say to him? Not necessarily about like your feelings, because you made those very clear and they're very honest, and we appreciate you sharing them. But more in a level of education, like what would you say to him if you could?
Absolutely. So in our synagogue, we're blessed with gymnasiums, and during the summers, some of those players, now the secret's out now on ESPN, some of those players train in our facility. Looked it up, the IHRA 2 days ago, the definition of anti-Semitism according to the IHRA, which is the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance. And in that definition, it says that a perception of hatred to the Jewish community is the definition of anti-Semitism. Now, Charles Barkley asked me 2 days ago, have I read or seen that movie? And so when he asked, I looked it up and I started seeing what those anti-Semitic tropes were. Number one, there's untruths there. And when untruths are then seen as truths to the next person, that leads to very dangerous consequences.
If you could speak to Kyrie, and I know we're on camera now, but in a personal education way, like what would you say to him? Not necessarily about like your feelings, because you made those very clear and they're very honest, and we appreciate you sharing them. But more in a level of education, like what would you say to him if you could?
Absolutely. So in our synagogue, we're blessed with gymnasiums, and during the summers, some of those players, now the secret's out now on ESPN, some of those players train in our facility. And every day I go to those players and I just say hello. And in the beginning of the season, they look at me like this. But at the end of the season, before they go off to their season, we give each other hugs because we got to know each other. And I pray that Kyrie, if he's in LA, when he's playing the Clippers, when he's playing the Lakers, come into our community. Because one of my best friends actually is a pastor in Inglewood. And we share a love of sports, we share a love of faith. Most of the things that we do together are actually based around sports because we have the love of faith. And so I say,
if that's not word salad and motherfucking white splaining and all type, there's so much tropes, and like he didn't answer the question. What would you say to Kyrie? Oh well, we're just in. I go to facilities and I get hugs, and just stop by the community. Like they always say the same exact thing every time. Oh hey, Kanye, come to the Holocaust Museum. Oh hey, come to our communities. Oh hey, okay. And then when they come, they go to the community. They give the apology. They do X, Y, Z, and the third. And they receive the same outcome. They receive the same demonization. They keep the liberal media keeps that anti-Semitic tag upon their name. So how could we really solve this situation? If we ask the question, we're wrong. If we do what you say, no changes are made. Like we're trying to get to a place of economic freedom. Now, of course, it's not. It's in it's in most business people's bottom line, right? Profit margin, and in the economical sense, it's in their best interest to keep things as they are, and use whatever Hegelian dialect, right? Whatever Hannibal tactics, right? They can use military strategy. They can use to keep us confused. They will do. But unfortunately, you have people like me who's 120% dedicated to telling people the honest to God truth. See, that is what they did not really anticipate. They did not anticipate people who do not care about money. Kanye West does not care about money. Kyrie Irving does not care about money. I do not care about money. When us as black people stop caring about money and care more about our respect and our image, we shall see the promised land, which is heaven on earth, taking back our nations, the new Africa, as I will be speaking about on my Black Renaissance podcast on Spotify coming up maybe a couple days. We'll speak about the time that we tried to make 4 states in the South, the new Africa, and what happened in that movement. But let's get back to this white splaining word salad the rabbi's doing. Shout out to Rabbi Erez Sherman.
Embrace each other's faith. I call it multi-faith, not interfaith. Interfaith gets like a little messy. Multi-faith says your faith is strong, your faith is strong, your faith is strong.
What the fuck is he talking about?
And we can actually live together. Dr. Martin Luther King has famously marched with Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel in Alabama.
That's a
Not
fact.
because they looked alike or served the same communities, but because they had the same belief that our society can change.
Speaking of that, I think.
Yo,
something
bro,
that
what
has
is
stood
he
out to
talking
me
about?
that
What is he
we've
talking about?
If you could.
Absolutely. So, and our
Would you say to him, not necessarily about like your feelings, because you made those very clear and they're very honest, and we appreciate you sharing them, but more in a level of education. Like, what would you say to him if you could?
Absolutely. So in our synagogue, we're blessed with gymnasiums, and during the summers, some of those players, now the secret's out now on ESPN, some of those players train in our facility. And every day I go to those players and I just say hello. And in the beginning of the season, they look like me like this. But at the end of the season, before the...
Which means that the NBA is cutting a check to that facility, is cutting a check to that school, to that gymnasium, for their players to go there and work out there, which means that they're receiving a financial incentive from the NBA. You don't think that would make you don't think there's some black gymnasiums, some black churches that players would like to exercise and play in? Would like the NBA to share money with? Adam Silver, could you speak to that when you speak to Kyrie as well, please? Thank you.
they go off to their season, we give each other hugs because we got to know each other. And I pray that Kyrie, if he's in LA, when he's playing the Clippers, when he's playing the Lakers, come into our community. Because one of my best friends, actually...
How about y'all come into our community? Instead of coming for cash, how about y'all come into our community and see how we're really living, see what we need, see the things that's going on? Instead of just coming as a landlord, come as a friend.
Is a pastor in Inglewood, and we share a love of sports, we share a love of faith. Most of the things that we do together are actually based around sports because we have the love of faith. And so I say, embrace each other's faith. I call it multi-faith, not interfaith. Interfaith gets like a little messy. Multi-faith says, your faith is strong, your faith is strong, your faith is strong, and my faith is strong, and we can actually live together. Dr. Martin Luther King has famously marched with Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel in Alabama, not because they looked alike or served the same communities, but because they had the same belief that our society can change.
Speaking of that, I think something that has stood out to me that we've heard Kyrie mention a couple of times over the last several days, today in speaking about making sure folks bring the same energy. The first press conference he had when he walked off of the press conference and said, well, what about Black women's reproductive rights? This notion of siloed care, that because I care about X, I cannot have...
We're going to let this one rock out
Y.
So we could close out.
How can that mentality shift?
So this is not just about sports, this is about our country. No surprise, the next week we have elections. I'm not going in there, I'm a rabbi, I don't talk about politics, I talk about the heart and the soul. But that can change when we know the other. That can change not when, as Rich Eisen said on his podcast the other day, Kyrie, you're dehumanizing me, but that changes when we humanize each other. I read your story in the New York Post, I believe, last year, about you being Jewish and African American. Wow, you need to tell that story. You need to get us together. You need to tell young people in Black communities and Jewish communities, and by the way, I think it's important, not all Jews look like me.
Wasn't that what Kyrie Irving was trying to say by putting out that, promoting that video, DVD, book, whatever? Is that not what Kyrie Irving was trying to tell people, that we was Hebrews, from Hebrews to Negroes? So you just told this lady that, oh, I'm happy, you did your article, you're Jewish and you're Black, and not all Jews look like me. That is exactly what Kyrie Irving was trying to say. Like, yo, I'm telling you, the goal is to confuse us, to say things out both sides of their neck, and keep Black people confused and running in circles. Once we get out the confusion, once we know what's what, we can properly fix our communities.
Jews had different skin colors, Jews come from different places around the world, Jews had different political opinions. It's everywhere. Just like Catholics and Episcopalians and any type of religion, there's a diversity of opinion. And at the end of the day, we're here to put on this earth to partner with each other. And when we partner with each other,
and that's Kyrie Irving's opinion.
Continue to partner with God.
So I have a question. So with all this being said, where do we go from here in your opinion, and how do we get everyone at the table to listen, to heal?
Oh, black niggas ain't gonna never have a seat at the table.
It's getting around the table. Because too many of these tables
black
are
people
filled with empty chairs.
Yeah, with no black people.
We got together multi-faith people, as I told you before, from kippas to collars. We had rabbis and priests and imams and all different types of faiths. And we said, why are we doing this when things are bad?
Right.
Why can't we do it when things are good? Why can't we watch an NBA Finals together or watch a Super Bowl? Let's talk about sports and then go into our...
Because y'all keep us out y'all communities.
But together. And so do
with
it
redliner.
Make that ball a place where we can unify
and other racial covenants. That was a lot of word explaining, but anyway, man, shout out to the rabbi. You know, me personally, man, I can't get with that. You know, I can't get with that. You know, I think it may, and I'm not gonna say just yet, but it may be time to consider boycotting the NBA. I want to see what Adam Silver's gonna say. I want to see what his opinion is on the situation. I want to see you know how Kyrie Irving responds and stuff like that. I'm still waiting for Adidas statement November 9th. You know, give it a couple days and stuff like that. I want to see how the situation play out, but you know, it is time to start considering it and asking that question. You know, we have to stand united as black people. It just is what it is. With that being said, 40 to the family, 80 high to the guys, FBA all motherfucking day, peace and reparations, and blessings.